Minasan konnichiwa, Sunny is desu. Hi everyone. So today's video is all about these my top 10 unspoken rules, the stuff they don't tell you about when you first come to Japan. So these are things that I learned through experience, not so much of researching and reading in textbooks. So number 1 is escalators. There are a lot of stairs here in Japan, and there are a lot of escalators too. When you're riding an escalator, you need to stay your little booty to the left, especially here in the Tokyo area. Please stay to the left because everyone who's walking is walking up the right. So don't be that silly gaijin or foreigner holding up the line and people are like, can't get past you because you're walking or standing on the right. Same thing with the trains. So when you get on the train, I remember from the US, like if I was on the train, everybody stood in the middle, and then when you were getting off, you kind of got off on the sides. Well, it's the complete opposite here. You stand to the sides, the left and the right, and everyone's going to come off through the middle. So don't stand in the middle and get stampeded on by a whole bunch of salarymen getting off at 5 o'clock. It's not going to be pretty and it's not going to be cool. So remember, line up on the sides of the doors, on the train. Next, there is really, number 3, there's no jaywalking here in Japan. For the most part, when that light is red, it's red, which means you need to stand still until it turns green. You know, I'm telling you, it's like even when nobody's there, when you're looking to your left, you're looking to your right, like, there ain't nobody here. The second you put your little foot in that daggone street, here comes some oba-chan, some granny like, look at you breaking the law. And it's like, dang, I should have just been patient and waited. So yeah, try to wait for the light to turn green. Also, there's no such thing as walking out looking chill. Y'all remember back, well not remember, it's still happening. So in the States, when you go into Walmart, you're just throwing on something. It don't even gotta match. Your shirt could be inside out, it doesn't matter. You go into Walmart. Here, it matters. I see women going to 7-Eleven. Just 7-Eleven, full makeup on, curls in their hair, got a dress on and high heels. They go buy a potato. Japanese people take their appearance like really, it's really important to them, like what they look like. So if you care what you look like, then I advise you don't walk out looking crazy. Like, y'all know it's a pain. For all the natural girls, for all the girls who got natural hair, I know y'all know it's a pain to actually get up and do your hair, especially if you're just going to buy a potato. But sometimes you just got to do it. When in Rome, you know. So yeah. Next one is when you get to that store and it's time to pay. What is this? Number 5. When you get to that store and it's time to pay, in the States, you give your money in people's hands, right? But here, you put it on the counter. In the States, if someone holds their hand out to take your money and you put it on the counter, you're like, dang, homie, you rude. But here, Japanese people don't want to feel like they're taking your money. So they usually have some kind of small tray, or you just place your money on the counter. They will put the money back in your hand, but don't wait for them to extend their hand for you to pay, because it's not going to happen, okay? Also, when you go to restaurants, so you know how in the US, the waiters and waitresses, they're working for tips, so they're trying to give you their best service so their tips will be higher. Well, there is no tipping in Japan, so while the service is still like really, really, really excellent, you have to call them. You got to be like, yo, sumimasen, for them to come give you some service every single time you need something. So please call for the waiter. There's sometimes even a button on the table that you can push and they'll come assist you, but you got to call them down. If you're just waiting there with the menu, looking like, yeah, nobody's coming. Nobody's coming. You have to call them down, okay? So, number 7 is, your food comes how the food comes. In the US, you can substitute things like, I don't really like chicken. Can I get some shrimp? Or, how spicy is it? Can you make it not so spicy? And I don't like broccoli, so no broccoli, please. But however the food comes on the menu, that's how it comes in Japan. you really can't substitute things or make adjustments to it. It's kind of like not a good thing to the cook, like you're saying, oh, your food isn't made well enough, and it's just not a common thing here. Of course, there's exception for food allergies, but usually you just don't order those items. So yeah, there's no really big substitutions here. Also, number 7 is try to eat all of your food, because there is no like takeout here. You can take food out, but not in a sense if you didn't eat your food and you're asking for a box to go home. So it's rude not to eat all of your food, even down to the last tiny grain of rice. You should try to eat all of your food to say thank you in respect to the person who cooked it for you, because a lot of food is not processed here in Japan. It's cooked by an actual person. So you want to say thank you and send back an empty plate. So try not to over order, okay? And let's see, number 8, there's no eating outside, like walking around and eating. If you come here, you realize that there's no trash cans outside, like none whatsoever. There's a lot of vending machines and a lot of places to put cans and bottles, but there's no place to throw away actual wrappers. So a lot of people do not eat outside while walking or on the train. None of that. So try not to do that. And also, I think number 10, y'all gonna have to count this because I'm all over the place. Number 10, I think, is no pointing. So in Japan, you don't really point with your index finger like, oh, what's that? Or who is she in? Oh yeah, I remember her. Is your name Sunny? They use the palm of their hand, like, oh, this is Sunny, and this is Mary, and this is Takashi, and this is Nani Nani Nani. So use the palm of your hand. I think pointing is like you're pointing down on somebody, like duh, duh, duh. So don't do that. And also another etiquette for like just in general is when you're sitting, most Japanese people don't cross their legs. Of course, in the bus and on the train and all that stuff is perfectly fine. But like if you're at someone's house or if you're in a meeting or if you're at work, they keep both feet on the floor. That's just something. I'm so used to crossing my legs. It's like in the back of my mind. I don't even like realize when I'm doing it anymore. So yeah, those are just like some unspoken rules that I learned while I was here. If you guys know any that you want to share with everybody, leave them down in the comments. You know, I check them like almost every week, so it'd be nice to know some things I don't know. Also, remember to subscribe so I can share with you guys all the things I'm doing in Japan and you guys can share with me. And I think that's it. I will see you all next time. Alrighty, ja mata ne. Bye bye.